A couple of months ago, I watched Claire Denis' newest cinematic experience titled High Life. The trailers promised a truly mind-bending, disturbing sci-fi experience. An experience that one of my friends further supported, as he had a panic attack by the end of the film. Critics that I followed also sang the film's praises, giving vague details so as not to spoil the surprises in store. I sat down in the cold theater at 9 o'clock at night, surrounded by others who were unaware of what the next 2 hours had in store.
2 hours later.
Upon walking out of the theater, I wasn't exactly sure what I had just experienced. I understood the basic plot, but in terms of themes and characters, I was lost. I spent the next few days turning the movie over in my mind, examining every detail I could remember. Why was Pattinson's character a celibate monk? Why was that masturbation scene so long and detailed? And why was there a ship full of dogs floating through space? There are a lot of messages and themes that play in High Life, too many for me to even count. Clearly the movie has something to say about the prison system, as the plot revolves around convicts on death row going on a suicide mission into a black hole, yet they've essentially been forgotten about by the people on Earth. There is also something about sexuality, as sex, birth, and pleasure are heavily represented. After seeing it, I wasn't sure how all these elements connected, and I was scared that there were more that I couldn't find. The movie confused me, and as a critic and film lover, I felt like a fraud. How could I not immediately understand a movie? This is a feeling I've been struggling with for a few years now. Unlike traditional films or blockbusters, Indian art house movies can be intentionally obtuse. They are made with an artistic vision in mind, and usually the filmmakers rarely have to compromise. These films could express a theme, comment on current events, or recreate an experience. Because of these artistic merits, I've found it difficult sometimes to get a movie. I know that I enjoy the visuals, the performances, the general experience of watching it. Yet if someone was to ask me what it's about, I'd be at a loss for words. A few examples come to mind immediately. The works of David Lynch, like Blue Velvet or Mulholland Drive, the psychedelic epic The Holy Mountain, the introspective 8.5, or the quiet terror of Under the Skin. That last film I already made a video on explaining my feelings and interpretation of the film, but I did not reach these conclusions on my first watch. For all the films I've listed, I had a period of time where I had no clue what the films meant or what they were about, but I knew that I enjoyed them, or at the very least was interested in them. In each instance, I took time to think about the films, to mull them over in my brain by going over the plot or recounting scenes or images that stuck out to me. I let my brain wander and grasp onto ideas as I tried to find meaning in every scene. I then did research, looking at how the filmmakers talk about their films, or in the case of Lynch, how they don't talk about them.
Believe it or not, Eraserhead is my most spiritual film.
We'll elaborate on that.
No, I won't.
I look up other reviews and analysis, gauging how others read the film and seeing what they got out of it. It also helps to see a movie with some friends or talk with those who have already seen it to get their unique perspective on the film. Talking with my friends who saw High Life helped me to form my own opinions and inform certain scenes or ideas that I had yet to decipher. This process is helpful in trying to understand a film, but I noticed that with High Life, I felt there was so much more to uncover beyond the recent reviews and discussions with my friends. There was so much to explore and discuss, I'm not sure anyone can fully understand the film. With this thought, I had to wonder why I enjoyed the movie so much if I don't fully understand it, and do I fully understand other esoteric or art house films? Here, I realized that ultimately, it doesn't matter. David Lynch intentionally doesn't discuss his purpose in making a movie or including certain details because he wants the audience to have their own unique experience while interpreting his films. This is what makes movies great, is seeing how each individual person interprets and responds to a film. The varying perspectives on every film and every piece of art for that matter is staggering. Everyone brings their own worldview, experiences, and knowledge to the table, leading to thousands of interpretations and opinions. There is no right way to watch or talk about a movie. Even in the case of a film like Mother, where director Darren Aronofsky told various press outlets exactly what the movie was about, leaving little room for interpretation or discussion.
And then there's also another bigger metaphor going on underneath it, which is this idea that, we are all living on this one planet with one mother who gave us life, and how do we treat her?
Aronofsky wanted to make a film showing the toxic relationship between Earth and God, man and religion. He wanted to show how humanity has mistreated the Earth and its creations, and how God has allowed this to happen. When I saw Mother, I had not heard Aronofsky's intentions. I only knew it was a batshit insane horror movie. While my initial viewing gave me a panic attack, I didn't focus on the religious aspects, as I am not knowledgeable in Christianity, or most religions for that matter. What I saw was the relationship between an artist and their significant other, or at least other people they care about. Their work consumes their life, to the point where they let fame take over their life. It also shows how dangerous the messaging and themes of an artistic work can be on society, how it can lead to small disagreements and yet also inspire radical and violent changes. Despite my interpretation going against the artist's intention, I still got something out of his movie. This could lead us to fall down the rabbit hole of death of the author, but I'll simply say that anyone's interpretation is valid as long as they can support it. Even then, people don't need concrete reasons to like a movie. High Life still confuses me. Lynch's films are still mysteries, and I literally have no idea what happened in the Holy Mountain. But I love each movie for their own reasons. High Life is a beautiful looking film with fantastic main performances, and it makes me feel small and insignificant in an interesting way. Lynch's films are endlessly entertaining and mysterious, making every rewatch informative and at times more confusing. The Holy Mountain is such a unique experience with so many fascinating and bizarre scenes that's worth watching for the spectacle alone. I may not know what every single detail means in these movies, but I enjoy watching them, and at the end of the day that should be enough. There is nothing wrong with not fully understanding a movie. In fact, that should be exciting. By admitting you don't get a movie, you can now fully embrace and dissect it. Admittedly, this works for movies you're interested in, and not ones that you may find pretentious or poorly made. But someone else may find that movie fascinating. Embrace the confusion, because there is no right way to enjoy a film. You don't need specific reasons to like a movie, it can be on a gut level. Just because you can't explain all the metaphors in the Holy Mountain doesn't mean the movie can't be special or mean a lot to you. The best part about watching these films is the discussions afterwards. Watching a movie is at once a communal and individual experience. Everyone comes to a film with their own life experiences, ethics, and opinions on film. Therefore, everyone sees a movie differently from everyone else. When I saw High Life, I focused mainly on the use of sexuality in the film and the commentary on the issues with the prison system in America, and possibly other countries. For my friend who had the panic attack, he was struck by how the film dealt with the meaning of life and living with past mistakes. His strong reaction came from how he felt the film spoke to his specific fears and anxieties. That's also why I had a panic attack in Mother, because it tapped into my anxieties, while others were bored or annoyed by everything else. What made me love High Life more was seeing my friend's reaction, listening to his thoughts and analysis of it. His love for the movie made me appreciate it more, and while I have some issues with it, I still admire many aspects of the film. While we all go into a movie with our own experiences, the best movies allow us to empathize with other people. Not just the characters on screen, but the other audience members. That post-film discussion is what makes moviegoing a communal experience that can enhance the greatest films. High Life is one of my favorite movies of 2019 so far, and a part of that is how much I enjoyed talking about it with my friends, reading over people's reactions, and spending time mulling it over in my head. The best movies get us to interact beyond the screen, to research outside the movie, to reflect on how our lives shape our reading of the film. The next time you see a movie that doesn't fully make sense, take some time to engage with your fellow moviegoers, or take a few minutes to quietly think it over. You never know, that confusing movie might become one of your favorites.
When things are concrete, very few variations in interpretation. But the more abstract a thing gets, the more varied the interpretations. But people still know inside what it is for them. And even if they don't trust their intuition, I always say that if some girl named Sally, she comes out of the theater, I don't have a clue what that means. She goes over with Bob and Jim to get a cup of coffee. Bob starts talking about what he thinks it is, because he knows exactly what it is. He starts talking. 5 seconds later, Sally is saying, no, it's not that. And all these things comes out of Sally. So Sally really did know for herself. That's the beauty of it. It's just like life. You see the same, sort of the same things, but you come up with many, many different things as you go along as a detective.